Well, good morning. Dogs are having a blast out there. They're running and going and having fun. They're playing away, aren't they? Aren't you guys? Which is good. I love to see them play. It's good for their health. It strengthens them up, gives them a little more muscle, coordination. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yes, it is. Blue and Pepper and Luna a little bit. Mostly it's Blue and Pepper. They're they go at it. They do. Oh, big lummox. Well, probably won't be out here long because it's kind of humid and hot. It's already 80 degrees and it's just the morning. So, um, a little bit of a tangent per se. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about my perceptions, personal perceptions of Neuralink and what it's been and what it could be for the general discussion we've had, which is artificial intelligence. So I'm in the middle of listening to a podcast from Lex Freeman about with the Neuralink team and Nolan, the first recipient of a Neuralink device. Nolan's got is quadriplegic. He's lost the ability to use his arms and legs, and he had one inserted, and now he can move cursors and do other things through the Neuralink device to allow him to have much more freedom and abilities to uh, interact with the world around him in a way he hasn't before, which I applaud. Um, but let's talk a little bit about what they're trying to achieve, and we'll apply it a little bit to AI. So, with the Neuralink device, we're talking about adding the ability to augment the human brain with uh, feedback into its system and input from uh, the brain, so that the uh, human can interact with, I want to say, computers, but it's computers, sensors, just anything that can be externally created that can tap into that device. So, one of the things that uh, I wanted to express in this is it may be a help with a safety factor of of artificial intelligence. And part of the reason that people like Elon thinks that it might be helpful is he said, AIs sometimes are a little faster than we are. And so when we don't interact back, or we interact back in the way we typically do, which is typing to a keyboard or clicking a mouse, it's he says it's like talking to the trees in Lord of the Rings. So the trees live hundreds of years, and they were known for the fact that they would talk very slowly because they're their brain, their I don't say their brain, but their conscience was going to go real slow compared to humans. And he says that AIs might be similar to the humans and us similar to the tree. Baby, you can't whack me with your nose. That hurt. And she usually, when I'm standing up, she'll go in between my legs. So she's just that right height where she can get through there without really hurting me, or I'm at the right height. That would depend on the way you look at it. But with Neuralink, we'd be able to have a conversation much more quickly, or at least the AI would be able to see what we're thinking very quickly. Inputs back in us might not be quite as fast, but well, no telling. Um, it's and he said that ability to quickly understand what we're perceiving, accepting, thinking about will make us more interesting to the people or the AIs and the codings that have been created. And vice versa, we would be able to uh, feel and sense and things of that nature much more rapidly. He said, if you think about it, right now people stare at the phone because that's where all the information comes from. If you had a Neuralink and it was built out to where they envision it in 10, 20 years, you would have that information cognitively. You would have, oh, let me have some coffee since I'm rambling on here and I probably need caffeine anyway. Hope you have something to get your day started. I want to have some of this caffeine here, a little dab of protein in it. I have in the morning. I don't drink the protein through the day, but in the morning I have a little scoop of protein in my coffee. So, ways that you can think about this as far as adding information. One of the things they're looking into, they think they can do relatively soon, relatively being like the next 2 to 4 years, is they might be able to cure almost all blindness. And they do throw in the caveat that blindness is not can come in many different areas, and there are people that are blind from birth, and there's people that lose their sight, and each one of those is a little bit of different case on how Neuralink could be used to solve their stuff. But they said not only do they think they can solve and allow people to see with Neuralink, but they also have the idea that they can use more of the uh, bandwidth of, uh, of perception. For instance, infrared and uh, shoot, was it ultra blue ray? Blue. Uh, for night vision, infrared shows you heat signatures, and night vision uses, can't remember what bandwidth it uses. However, all those things could be used to augment areas that even the human eye's range doesn't typically see. We be able to see more of what's out there. So it's been very fascinating podcast. Um, this is an area where machine and man are starting to meet, and part of it, some people might say, well, well, not some people, but what I'm trying to do is understand how that interplays with the fact that we're having more and more intelligence put into processing. Hey, Pepper, Pepper, come here. You got a big thing on your face. Oh, goodness gracious. There was some thunder. Luna hates thunder. Baloo and Pepper don't care. Well, Baloo cares a little bit if it's right nearby. He will get upset if it booms right overhead, but if it's far off, he's pretty chill about it. Luna's got these big old ears, and boy, if it's thunder anywhere around here, she freaks out. Anyways, Neuralink is exciting. My wife has a DBS, and so I've seen what some of the stuff she had to go through. So I know it's not a trivial procedure per se. It's cutting into the skull is never easy process. And then you're talking about adding things into an important part of our system. I remember still when I was little, I used to read Isaac Asimov books all the time, and he'd generate tons of books. And one of the books he wrote was The Human Body, and it was a book about that long. Sorry, not that long, but if you put it on the side, it'd be about that thick. And I read through that, and it was fascinating. Then he came out with the a book on the human brain, and it was more than double the size of the human body because there is so much complexity in the human brain and the the wires that come off the human brain. We call it the spinal cords. Uh, I mean, that's another thing that they said they might be able to help with is that spinal cords are nothing more than compute. Uh, they're like Ethernet cables, and they get severed, right? Or they get damaged where they don't work anymore. But that junction could be repaired. Uh, there's lots of things that they look like going to look into. It's exciting because Nolan's a great example. His life, when he got lost all of his movement, came down to him just talking. And his family did the best they could to entertain him and stuff like that. But he couldn't like do anything himself. And those things really hit you hard. Uh, Now he can do things. He's playing speed chess. He's playing lots of games. He's helping with this exciting step into the future. I haven't heard his interview yet. They started with Elon for the overview, and then they talked to the team lead for his take. And right now I'm listening to the neurosurgeon himself and how he's the surgery parts and interacting and what he's learned and stuff like that. So they're going through it, and I have yet to finish it all. I'll probably do another video because it is so much information. Um, but it's exciting. Um, we're living, yeah, we're living, we are living in amazing times. Amazing things are being created around us. And someday we're going to look back at this and uh, like so many things, when the Wright brothers got off the ground, we look back now and we know that was a moment, but we know that getting off the ground is only the beginning of plane flight nowadays. There's so many other things that you've got to, that's almost the trivial part of it, right? There's so many other things that go into planes now. So I'm going, like I said, I'm going to keep it short because it's a little warm. We got a little thunder going on. I unfortunately left my lawnmower because I did a little bit of the yard yesterday, and I was like, it's not going to rain, so I was going to do some more, but now I got to go put it up. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later, and I'll tell you when I'm scheduled to get my Neuralink device. So I'll be applying to it soon, as soon as they open it up to normal people. I'm not no, not normal, but who knows what'll happen. But I'm encouraged for all those that are suffering, and I hope soon the many years of physical suffering that people have to experience because something in this biology of ours just doesn't work right can have some kind of relief to their suffering. Personally, I've seen some people go through some really horrific things, and I've been encouraged by how much uh, humanity they still have, and peace and love and happiness. So, but I also know I wanted them to not have that pain. So I'm encouraged by all of it. Well, anyways, we will talk to you guys later, and you have a wonderful day. See you soon.